is there an issue with how we understand meritocracy?
I don't think so. I mean, meritocracy exists in Singapore, but of course there are some obstacles, which is what I've been pushing in Parliament to remove. One example is streaming. So it is meritocracy, but unfortunately through PSLE, we've put all those lower income into one stream, the middle income into another stream, and the higher income into another stream. So meritocracy is there, but sometimes it's hard to fight and get your way up. And that's why I think we need to make sure we address those obstacles.
Right.
And that's what we've done with streaming. You know, I focus hard on that because again, I wanted to make sure that meritocracy can thrive here. And through a parliamentary question, I realized that the reply was that PSLE scores are positively correlated to your socioeconomic status.
Right.
And based on PSLE scores, you are streamed into normal tech, normal acad, and express. And so you then get this social stratification that we saw happening over the last few years because of streaming, and I'm very glad that we have abolished it now, and there's more social mixing, and I think meritocracy can thrive in our schools as well.
Right. So, and I think that was definitely a good decision by the government. I mean, made possible by people yourself and Minister Ong as well. So, that is only one aspect of inequality, right? The PSLE. Yeah. What
many
about
aspects.
Right. So, what about inherited meritocracy then? Because a lot of us, our station in life a lot of it is due to our parents' station in life. So how do we get around that? A pure meritocracy, pure meritocratic system wouldn't work, right?
So that's our focus is not to cap the top, but to try and bring the bottom up. And that's why we've started a variety of programs, Kids Start, KIFAS, all the subsidies for the lower income to make sure they also have opportunities for education. We've made sure that every school is a good school, and I wholeheartedly believe in it. So the focus is on meritocracy, but not capping the top, and how we can bring the bottom up. And I think again we're focusing on that now, even with not just the education system, but all the subsidies that you see, to make sure everyone has a fair chance. Are we at the ideal state yet? Obviously not. And you know, the other part I brought up was gender inequality as well.
Right.
So there is meritocracy, but the reality is that women have smaller opportunities and even smaller wages, down to workplace discrimination and the gender wage gap.
Right. I mean, even at the start, there's already a wage gap, right, because of national service.
Yep.
Right. But
then
the counter to that would be that the boys lost 2 years, that the girls were ahead 2 years. But I don't know how we can adequately solve that. Yeah.
We have even the adjusted wage gap, for example, where you factor in the experience and all that. There is still a gap.
Right. Yes.
I think women earn, if I'm not wrong, $352 less last year as compared to men for the same job and same amount of experience. And a lot of it is really the gender stereotype that women are supposed to look after the kids, men are supposed to go to work. It's 2020. It really is time for us to move away from that.
Right. And I think based on your parliamentary intervention earlier, you believe that work from home is actually a way to overcome that gender inequality, right?
It is, and I think there are some studies now that have done because of this COVID-19 pandemic on what is its effect on gender inequality. And it shows that it's helped because it's given us men the chance to be at home, to help with the child caregiving duties. It sort of balanced the scale a little bit. And you know, someone wrote to me last night and said she's very happy now because, whenever she picks up her kid from primary school, she sees a lot more fathers picking up their kids now, because they're able to and they're working from home. And I think that, again, not just tackles inequality, but it changes the mindset that actually it's men and women that can look after the children. And hopefully then that changes the employer mindset.
Right. And I just wanted to say the gender pay gap is a worldwide problem, right? So I think we have to creatively and look at how other countries have tackled it as well. So the work from home thing, there's also a class element here, right? Because not everybody can work from home, and usually the lower income people are less likely to be able to work from home, right? So to rely on that probably is gonna exacerbate some other form of inequality. What do you think?
No, so what I've pushed for is the work from home from those who can, and then make sure that we increase the annual leave entitlement for those who can't. And that's what I've
Right.
pushed for, because I think if you look worldwide now, Singapore has one of the lowest minimum entitlement for annual leave at 7 days. I delivered a speech on all that. There are many other countries that give more, and I said exactly what you have just said, that this will help the lower income, the essential workers who cannot work from home, and will really rely on the annual leave entitlement to take a break and to rest. So fighting on that ground as well, and fighting for childcare leave as an example. Again, I've pushed that not everyone can have flexible work arrangement. How do the nurses, how do the cleaners have flexible work arrangement? They have to work on site. So the childcare leave entitlement is important, especially important for them, where they need to take time off to look after their children.
Right. Okay. Thanks a lot, Mr. Ng, for that.